it's Rachel. If you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button because I have a lot of fun crafts coming up this season. So it is officially fall season. Well, at least it is in my craft room. And we have a lot of fun crafts on my table today. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Of course, we have to start off with a candle. I wish that you guys were able to smell this because it smells so good. It is pumpkin streusel, and I believe I got this from, it's Ashland. So gosh, I don't know if that was Hobby Lobby or if that was Target. Ashland, I don't know. I think this might be Target. Sorry, I just had to take a smell. So I have this really pretty gold matte foil that we're going to use to put on to the candle here. So I'm just going to go ahead and get that weeded out. Let me know if you started decorating for fall. I have not started just yet. I am waiting to get some crafts done. So I will be putting out my fall stuff here shortly. And then I will be putting up my fall decorations here very quick shortly. Just have to finish a few things and then be able to put up my fall decorations. So glad to start crafting for fall because it is always a lot of fun crafts. I think if you guys, let me get out my pin tool real quick. Sometimes with the pin tool, it's a little easier with the gold matte foil to get the middle pieces up using the pin tool. But anyway, yeah, so what was I saying? Gosh, I can't remember. I get distracted and I forget what I'm saying. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't know. Goodness, I guess I'll have to rewind the tape and figure out what I was talking about. But anyway, it's a little late night crafting tonight, and as it normally is, and sometimes you just lose your train of thought. Before we apply our decal, let's go ahead and rub this down with some rubbing alcohol. Yeah, let me know if you've started crafting for fall, or if you've already put out your fall decorations. I'm interested to see what you guys are all doing, and yeah, it'd be nice to know. So what I like about this candle is the fact that it has no label. So I thought this was a good opportunity. I really do think this is Target. If you know Ashland, I think that is Target. That doesn't seem familiar to me for Hobby Lobby, but that doesn't mean I'm not right. Okay, so I'm going to be fully honest with you all right now. I just painted my nails, and this nail polish I absolutely love, but man, does it take forever to dry. And it's starting to, I don't know, it's not fully dried, and I couldn't wait any longer. I ran it underneath water, I applied heat to it, I blew on it, and nothing was working. So I just decided I'm just going to go ahead and just start crafting. So if you start to see my nail polish look all funky, and that's just because it's not fully dried and just got impatient to start my video. Like I said, that's the one downfall about this nail polish. Okay. Actually transferred way better than I thought. And then I think, let's put this about right here. You know, I think what I'll do is apply it this way. I know that it is not helpful for you all, but for me, it's going to be easier. That looks good. All right. Get all that all scraped down. So, funny story, our meteorologist said that we're X amount of days from fall and the season of fall, and I was like, what that means to us? Absolutely nothing down here in the south. It really doesn't matter until it's like end of October, November. I remember one year in October down here, it was like 90 degrees and it was so hot passing out candy. And then like the following year or 2 years later, it was absolutely freezing cold. So Just kind of depends on where the wind blows. But anyways, I love it. I know it might be kind of hard for you guys to see just because of the lighting here, but I just think that it almost looks like it was meant to go on there. And yeah, I think that's a really good touch to this candle. And again, you guys want to take a smell? I'm just kidding. But anyways, yeah, oh my god, it even smells really good just opening it up. And what you can take a step further and add something to the top of here, I'm not going to because I know this was kind of hard to do, but what I like about this is you can put it as like kind of as a little candle holder, and it kind of doubles as that. So that's kind of cool. And then it could just sit in the craft room while I am burning it and crafting. All right, what a great start to our fall crafts. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Okay, the next one is this really pretty tray that I got from Hobby Lobby. In fact, this was not in their fall decor. It is actually, I think it was, well, let me look. It just says gift. So this is just their everyday stuff that never goes on sale, but they happen to clearance it out or reduce it, whatever they want to call it. And I snagged it for, I think, $6.99, and the original price was $17. Not a bad buy. And what I thought would be really pretty is I found this wreath in design bundles, I believe, and it had something like Hello Fall or something to that effect, and I decided to take that out and went ahead and just left the wreath, because I think what I'm going to do is, which would actually be pretty cool to put my candle in here, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm going to put my plant in the tray. So I weeded it out already just because this was very intricate and I just thought it would take too long to weed it, so I weeded it off camera. I was watching one of my favorite YouTubers. I don't know if you guys ever heard of her. Well, you might if you're not, might not if you're not into cars, but her name is Kathy Szynski, I believe is her name. Kathy, if you're watching this video, I apologize if I messed up your name. But anyways, I have been binge watching her cards and, or her videos, excuse me, and oh my goodness, she does such a good job. I'm so jealous. I definitely am going to have to bring some of the card inspirations from her videos to my channel, obviously making sure I give her credit for it, but she has come up with a lot of good cards, and she knows a lot of the big stampers like Gina K and Sign This as Stamp, and yeah, she's awesome. So I really encourage you guys to check out her channel if you're into card making, because I think that she just does a fabulous job making cards. And since I'm getting into cards, I've been buying a lot of supplies for it. I got a little bit of a bubble, but I know it might be okay. I thought I'd watch some YouTubers create some cards and get some inspiration, because that's what we're here on YouTube for, is to provide inspiration. Oh, and see, I just boogered up my nail. Oh my goodness. Well, there you go. And I got a bubble. Oh goodness. I'll tell you, I'm really hoping this is not the theme of this video of just having issues, because I don't got time for that. I got lots to do. Got a busy weekend ahead of me. Got a lot of videos to create and make, and I just don't have time for crafts not to cooperate. Okay. Hopefully this area over here does not be an issue for me. Okay. Alright, bringing in my tray. I don't think it matters how it gets laid onto the tray, so I'm just going to kind of at least just center it, excuse me. Alright, that looks good. Let's get that scraped down really good. And then let's peel this back very carefully, because if you're not really paying attention to all these different pieces of the design, like I'm doing right now, you could easily rip it. So you just want to make sure that you take your time and really just have your eye go back and forth. to make sure that everything is sticking down and not coming up. Sorry, I guess I can't talk when I'm focusing and focus. I can't talk and focus at the same time. Goodness. Guess I better work on that because of what I do. Okay. So far, so good. Actually stuck down a lot better than I anticipated, but some different woods, depending on the finish, does not stick really well. So you just gotta kind of be careful about that, right? Okay, there we go. I love it because you have these sunflower accents, very fall. In fact, my wedding, I was married in November, and we had sunflowers for our theme of our wedding. And you know, if you want, you can bring in the candle and you can put your candle in here. That would be really pretty, right? I have a really pretty plant that would look really cute in this tray, but I don't know, maybe I will or maybe I won't. We'll see. But that is the first 2 crafts that we just did. Let's keep it going. I found this house at Michael's. What I did was I actually painted it this gray color. I think it's like a Persian gray or something like that. And then I printed this out or cut this out, and I didn't like the gray pairing with this. So what I did was I painted it white and then sanded it. I got a little bit more off of the white than I wanted to, but I think it's still gonna work. I like the rustic look on that, but let's just give it a try and see how it works. And if I don't like it, not a big deal. I can just always sand it off and try again. But I don't know, I'm kind of stepping out of my comfort zone with this design. Not the design, but the colors. So, well, why not? This is Caesar Easy Weed Glitter Iron-On, and I'm excited to use it. It's not exactly the glitter iron-on that I wanted. I wanted more of a gold, not a orange copper color, but you know what? I'm crafting with what I have. And why not, right? If I don't like it, I can just donate it and do something different for the next year, right? That's the beauty of being a crafter. Okay. There we go. I was just trying to think, what is this right here? And I realized I think it's a comma. Oh my goodness. All right, this is just a really intricate little wreath here, so I'm just trying to be really careful and mindful of how this is supposed to be done. Okay, so you may have to fast forward to this part because this is gonna take some time for me to figure out what's going on with this. Unpopular opinion, I am not a big fan of Caesar Easy Weed. Oh my goodness, I had the worst time trying to get this ironed or to weed out, and I prefer Cricut's brand. So let me know in the comment section if you like Caesar Easy Weed, because this is what that is. And I don't know, I'm just this was difficult. All right. And I'm just going to get this centered to my best ability. That is not a comma as I thought it was. This one was a little hard one to get centered, but we got it. Not a big deal. I'm using my mini press at medium heat. I may need to bump it up to a higher heat level only because this is glitter iron-on, but that's usually what I do for Cricut's brand, so I'm not exactly sure what Caesar Easy Weed, excuse me. Not exactly sure with Caesar Easy Weed if it needs a medium setting, low, or high. I always go for medium. I technically should try it at low, and that way I'm not going to mess up my piece, but I don't know. Usually medium's my go-to. I rarely look on the Cricut's website unless I'm working with something that's just not working, and then I'll go and look at Cricut's heat guide and see what they recommend, but that's just the way I craft it. Doesn't mean it's the best way. That's just the way I do it, right? And I don't think I read this, but I mean, I'm sure you can read it yourself, but it says my favorite color is October. I thought that was super pretty. And I believe this is, well, I don't know. I can't remember if it was design. I don't think it was Design Space. I think this might be Etsy. No, this is Design Bundles. I'm pretty certain it is. So what I did is I just flipped it over to help draw out that heat. And then what we'll do is we'll flip it over once it cools down a little bit, and then we'll peel up that carrier sheet, and we'll be really careful about doing any lifting too quickly, just because we want to make sure that it completely adheres to, oh, see, now I'm having some lifting, so I'm going to bring in my parchment paper, and I'm using parchment paper just to protect the paint, and of course to protect my easy press. I don't want to get anything melted on my easy press and bring that into another project. So that's why when I do painted surfaces, that's why I always opt for parchment paper. I think that cooled down enough. Let me go ahead and peel that back. Look how pretty that is. I love this. I was a little worried with the distressed in the back, but I actually think it turned out pretty good. Let me know what you think. Do you think that should have been painted a solid white, or do you think that distress looks good? I do think, though, I do like it. I probably would have, I like more of this area of distress. This one's a little too heavy for me, but you know what? There is no right or wrong answer when it comes to crafting. As long as you like it, that is all that matters. Of course, now that we got the candle done, of course what comes next is some coffee. Or for you pumpkin spice lovers, pumpkin spice. Although, unpopular opinion here, I am not a fan of pumpkin spice. I love coffee. White chocolate mocha is my favorite from Starbucks. And I love that coffee, but I am just not, and I'm just using some rubbing alcohol, I am not a fan of pumpkin spice. I don't know what it is. I don't hate it. I just don't like it. I would never order it unless, I don't know, unless they ran out of my favorites, I guess, and I wanted something a little, I don't know, something good. So, let me know what you like when it comes to the fall weather, or the fall season rather. If you are looking forward to the pumpkin spice, or if you're looking forward to, I don't know, what's your favorite part about fall besides it not being summer and so ungodly hot. Unfortunately, here we really don't have too much of a fall season. We know that fall is coming when the cotton fields are starting to bloom, and still hot. Usually it's hot, I don't know, usually it's hot, and I might have even said this earlier. I kind of filmed this at 2 different nights, but we have maybe a month, if that, of fall, and then it just becomes cold and it just becomes winter. And it, you know, sometimes we get cold down here, but that is a super fine dot, and I'm just not even going to worry about it. It probably will get washed off anyways when I wash the cup. But anyway, I found this SVG on Etsy, so be sure to link that for you all. And let me get that. So it just says fall vibes. My favorite thing about fall, now there's not much I like about living down in the south in the fall, because as I said, we really don't have one, but I miss the cool airs, the cool nights. I miss just being able to go out in some jeans and a hoodie or a sweater. I miss that. No, we get that, but it's always in the winter time, really, and it never feels like fall until like end of November, maybe, if we're lucky. And at that point, you're already into Christmas season, so I don't know. That's just one thing. I miss the northern falls. The winters, yeah, you guys can keep that. I'm good. I don't like the snow. I love this winter in the South. It's awesome. I just feel like where I grew up, the just winter's always dragged on. We always said, it's kind of funny. It's how we describe the 4 seasons is it's almost winter, it's winter, still winter, and then construction season. That is how our 4 seasons are in Ohio. And that's one thing I did not like about living up in Ohio. I lived in Northeast Ohio. The winter just dragged on, in my opinion. Usually, like, I liked the winter up until, like, when I was a kid, I really liked it because I didn't have to drive in it and have to worry about it, and I didn't have to work it in the snow. But for me, as I grew older, I preferred like, if it was up to me, right, I would want the winter to go until about January, maybe February, and then start warming up to like 70 degrees. Like, that is so ideal. And that's kind of how it is down here. Okay, so bringing in my cup. And I don't know, and I don't have my cup holder, so unfortunately I'm going to have to do it this way. And I'm going to be mindful about the placement of it because I need an area or room to sip my drink here, or sip from my drink. And actually I'm going to do it this way because I like my decal to be facing outward, and I'm right-handed. So that is just what we're going to do. Okay, let me get this centered and we should be good to go. Okay, I think I got it. Let's get that scraped down. And if you're gifting this, just be mindful to tell the person that it is not dishwasher, microwave safe, and that you should at least give yourself, or give the cup 24 to 48 hours to cure, so that way that vinyl stays on there pretty good. And let's go ahead and peel this up. And there we go. What do you guys think? I absolutely love it. Oh, and I don't know if I mentioned this, but I did buy this at Target. So I just thought this just screamed fall, right? With the pretty green colors. All right, well, let's keep it going. Next craft item that's on my craft table today for the fall video is this little, I don't know, they really don't have a label for it, but it's just this like porcelain, maybe not porcelain, but ceramic tile, I guess. And I like this because it has this twine. Of course, you can replace it with whatever makes sense to your decor. I like it just because I feel like it just fits in with the fall vibes here. And what I'm going to do is just rub this down because this has been sitting in my craft room for probably a couple of months now. I saw this when I was shopping one day and I thought this would be super cute for a fall decor. So that is what we are going to craft for. Move that to the side and let that dry. They actually have different shapes and sizes, which is pretty cool. And I grabbed that one. I don't know if I grabbed any more. And I'm using this really pretty, I think it's called metallic foil. No, it's not foil. I forget what it's called, but I feel like we've all seen this before. It's by Cricut. And I thought this would be really cool to do for a fall, or use for a fall craft. And I just want to say I used the proper setting that Cricut recommends for this type of vinyl, but what I did is I did more pressure just because this and that matte gold foil that I did on the candle, so this one right here, that usually I do more pressure because I find that if you do more pressure for those type of vinyls, it really does work, cuts really well and weeds really nicely. But of course, if you're not too sure, because every Cricut machine is not the same, they all have their slight variation and /tolerance, so I would recommend just doing a test cut on a really small, just do like a small square, something, or maybe even something a little bit more intricate, like a star or a pentagon or, you know, hexagon, whatever, and test it out and see how well it weeds. And if it weeds out just fine, then don't do any more. You know, then that's the setting that you need to do. All right, so this piece is just big enough. It's gonna leave a little vinyl exposed, and I'm okay with that because I can handle that little bit of exposure to the vinyl. Now, if it was a greater area, then I would probably be a little hesitant to go ahead and use. So, and you're also going to be careful when you're burnishing this down that you don't accidentally scrape up that. And see, I even got some exposed there. But you don't want to scrape over that vinyl because you don't want to rip it, because that's exactly what will happen. Now, if you're new at crafting, I would not recommend doing this. I mean, a little bit is going to be more manageable, but this is a little bit of a sturdier vinyl, and so that's why, also why it makes it okay to leave exposed, a little exposed. But if you're new and you're a little nervous, just cover it up with some additional transfer tape. Just piece it together. A lot of my videos, that's what I do, because I don't want to end up cutting a whole new piece. I'll just piece the transfer tape together. There we go. Moving in my sign here. And then let's put this here. Oh, this is going to be so pretty. All right. Got that all. This all put down. Let's go ahead and scrape that. Again, being really careful of the areas that are exposed. You just want to kind of use your finger or gently rub it. It just depends on the vinyl. This is pretty sturdy, so I could rub on with my scraper tool. Now, with the Cricut, they have a plastic finish, so I don't know if I would recommend this. This is a softer finish, which I love. Okay, peeling this back. Oh, it adhered perfectly. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. I love this. This is so pretty. And just depending on how the light hits it, it's either super dark or super copper. But this is so pretty. And now you can obviously hang it like this. So you can have it strung up like this, or you can have it strung up like that. So it's kind of just depending on the vibe you want. I absolutely think this is just amazing. Let me know what you all think. I mean, I feel like we can't top this, but we're gonna try. We're actually gonna use this foil again in another craft project here in a little bit. And for the grand finale, we're going to be making a nice little wall decor. This is actually from Hobby Lobby, and it came in a pack of 3. They did clearance it out, so I'm not exactly sure if they still have it, but I'm sure you could pick this up at any store. You can also do the inside if you want. Just ignore my paint, but you can do it this way or you can have it this way. I went ahead and painted all 4 sides. I did some sanding around the edges to distress it a little bit, and of course smooth down the paint. So let's go ahead and get this weeded out. I'm going to move that to the side. Once again, we're using this metallic foil. I think it's just absolutely on point for fall crafts. Okay. So I just, again, used that metallic setting in Design Space, and then I also just did more pressure. So this says autumn, and then the next one is a bunch of fall words, and I'm going to go ahead and put this on fast forward just because this is rather involved, and I think that it's just going to make sense for us to put the camera on fast forward, and that way you can just sit there and watch me do it while listening to some relaxing music. all weeded out, and let's go ahead and burnish down. So I'm just going to go ahead and transfer that by peeling the backer back. Peeling like butter. Wonderful. And in my blank here. Now what I'm going to do is I have this large parchment paper. It doesn't fully cover the blank here, but that's okay. That's what I want. I don't want it to cover it completely. And I'm going to use this because I need to center this. And let me put this on here like, see, oh, this is so staticky. This is what happened. Okay, if I'm going to be completely honest with you all, this is take two for me. I was working on this last night, and it was like the last one I had to do in this video, and it decided, as I was putting it down, because it decided to be bold and not use parchment paper, and what happened is it just went and sucked down to, or stuck down to my blank. And actually, it wasn't too bad. It was not too bad. It was a little bit off-center, and it went downhill just a little bit. But given that I was not ready to put it down, it actually did pretty good. So, but I just knew me. I knew that I was not going to like it, and so I just left it. Or I took it all off, and then here we are again. All right, so what you're going to do with the parchment paper is you're going to leave just a little bit of it exposed, of the transfer tape. Now, ideally, you would want the transfer tape to be exposed and not the vinyl. That way, if you need to remove it, you're not ruining your vinyl. But I cut mine too close to the top there, and, well, here we are. Not a big deal. All right, so I'm going to bring it over and get this centered and hopefully get it straight. Once you think that you have it lined up, what you can do is just press down a little bit. I don't press down too hard because I don't want it to stick, the vinyl to stick. Now this is 11 by 11 and the blank is 12 by 12. So it should be, if it's centered, it should be about a ½ inch, which it is here. And then we'll do here. That's ½ inch. So then the other side should be ½ inch, but I'm going to also measure the bottom. And yeah, okay. Good enough for me. I'm going to take it. So I'm going to really press down on that top area, that area where the transfer tape is exposed. And press down on that. And then what you're going to do is you're going to lift this up, or if you can, pull gently. Now you want to be careful to pull it because you don't want your transfer tape to get pulled with it, because you just got it centered, right? Ask me how I know that sucks, because I've done that before and I was pulling on it and it just pulled us off, and I'm like, I just got it centered. I just spent like hours on centering it, and well, I learned my mistake. Okay, so then I'm gonna pull this forward, and looks like I got a little bit of a bubble. That's okay. Oh, okay. I'm going to try to lift this up. Alright, so what we're going to do, I have a little bubble. That's alright, it happens. You're going to try to push that bubble into the space where the vinyl does not exist. So you're just going to kind of work it. It may move the lettering a little bit, but that's okay. You just don't want the vinyl to get ripped. Or wrinkled, I should say. So I'm going to try to push that vinyl, or the transfer tape, where that, so I have that O is not going to work. Okay, so I have one little troubled area. Again, I'm just trying to push that bubble away from that vinyl, and then I'll fix it as I pull this up. So I'm going to get this down pretty good. And then I'm going to peel this back. It happens. And you just gotta kind of work with it. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm just being really careful of where that bubble is, because I'm trying not to put pressure on that bubble. I don't want to push it down too far, because then we're going to have a bigger issue. Any areas that you just didn't get really well, that's okay. You're just going to press it down with your finger, and then it should stick to your blank. And see, now that you're not having any issues with your vinyl, because you because you push that air in the middle of the vinyl. Not in the middle of the vinyl, but in between the spacing of the vinyl. Oh, it's not paying attention. Okay, I gotta fix that G. I was not paying attention. That's okay. We'll fix that. Okay, pulling this back, and we made it. Yay! I am so thrilled. Now I'm going to try to use that for the autumn. And I'm going to bring in my weeding tool, and I'm going to try to fix that G. Here we go. It turned out super good. And it says crisp mornings, cozy sweaters, apple cider, football games, which I'm not a big fan of football. Unpopular opinion here. Hot cocoa, falling leaves. I am not sure what this is supposed to say. And then hayrides, pumpkins, flannels, bonfire, s'mores, and breezy nights with starry skies. Love it. I don't have to worry about trying to align my vinyl, because I already have, it's supposed to intertwine with that, so I can get it aligned that way. So there you go. All right. So I should have trimmed down my transfer tape a little bit better. I'll always reuse that for something else. Pin this back. Now I do have the SVG InDesign space open up on my computer right now, just because this one I find a little hard to get aligned. And you can use your transfer tape, but I feel like this is a little bit manageable, that I don't really need transfer tape. Famous last words, right? Okay. I don't know. I may. Okay. I lied. I ended up using some parchment paper, because this one actually was a little tricky to try to get lined up. So it took me a minute, but I got it, luckily. Oh no. Oh, don't stick on that. You're not supposed to stick on parchment paper. What are you doing? Alright. Pulling this very gently, and then bringing this down. Okay. I think we got it. Yes. Okay. Perfect. And be careful. Making sure those areas are down and good. Scraping this. Make sure that's good. Alright. Let's try that. There we go. I'm going to be very careful when I'm peeling back the transfer tape, as I don't want to accidentally lift my existing vinyl, and of course this foil, or the metallic vinyl. And she's done. Oh, thank gosh. Thank goodness this is done. Oh, and I am loving this. Oh my gosh. I don't think I can do any more fall crafts, because I feel like this just tops it, right? But we'll do more, I promise. I'll bring more to the channel. Okay, well this is the last one. Let's go ahead and bring in all the craft supplies, and I'll let you know which one my favorite one is. Well, here they are. 6 incredible crafts to start off the fall season. I think we started the fall season off really well. I love everything. I love how they all turned out. I like that these two are pairing well with each other, and I like that we added a little bit of floral for the fall season. Of course, we have the sign, and then we have the house. Let me know if you guys like the house with it distressed in the middle. I don't know, I like it. But I don't know. Let me know in the comment section. I might end up sanding it off, or I might leave it. You know, it's just for one season, so whatever. It doesn't matter. As long as I enjoy it, that's what matters. And of course, we're gonna have my fall coffee cup, and then lastly, our candle, which was our first craft. I think that actually just looks like it just really came with it. Really, it just looks professional in my opinion. Let's get cozy. Love, love, love it. All right, so the question is, which one is my favorite? And the answer is, I don't know. I say that every time. I love all the crafts. I will say probably it's tied between the three of these. I love my coffee mug, but I also love this one, and I like the candle. But I guess if I really have to pick, I'm gonna have to say the sign. I think the sign just turned out super pretty, and I can't wait to hang it up and be part of my fall decor. All right, well, that is all I have for you in this video. Be sure to subscribe to my channel because we got a lot of fun fall crafts coming up, as well as Halloween crafts and some more, followed by some more fall/Thanksgiving crafts, and then we're going to get into the craft of Christmas. So I hope that you guys take a second to subscribe. Let me know which one your favorite one is, and I'll see you all in the next video. All right, bye.